you ever with a bit you just overcomplicate things and you're like, that was it.
I
That's
know.
The most simple thing is usually.
But isn't it amazing how the audience tells you that?
Yes.
Isn't it amazing what they can communicate? It's kind of like a dog. You know, dogs look at you and you can kind of form sentences from their face.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I think he wants to go out. You know, he's just looking at you a certain way.
Yeah.
Audiences do the same thing.
Yeah.
They just make weird sounds.
Right.
That just say, yeah, but that idea, but different.
Right.
Or that idea, but faster.
That's
or
true.
not that idea. We like the way you got into it, but we don't like where it went.
Right.
The amount of information, especially I find what I love when you go on to try new stuff and it's a total mess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
It's
can't
ugly.
remember it. You're all over the place. You're
How often is that for
bumpering.
you though? Because I feel like your stuff, even when I see you work out, it seems pretty polished.
No. Most of the time. I mean, I have stuff at everything's at a different level, obviously, but the first time, sometimes it gets really messy. But still, you come off, and it's like someone just hands you a report,
Right.
in your head, like, here's what you need to fix, here's what we liked. I don't think people understand how much audiences write the act. You know, the act that you're seeing is what the last 100 crowds liked.
Right.
That's what you're going to see tonight.
But why is it so hard for us to write down funny ideas, funny jokes, and then the audience goes, no? And I'm like, how did I not predict this? Why is that such a hard
Well, because you're dealing
translation?
Because you're dealing with something that no one understands. Really, no one really knows what's funny. I mean, we can be pretty sure.
Yeah.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. That's why, to write a lot of stuff, I think, like if you write, like when Larry and I did the show, between the two of us, so you got kind of a cross filter.
Right.
If you can get by both of us, we thought, okay, that's probably got a chance.
Yeah, but
just one person's not enough.
It really isn't. And you could do it for, what, 50 years? What are you at?
50 years.
Yeah. You think you know it, you still don't know.
I talked to a comedian the other day, no names, who was not happy with the special. And it's not someone I know that well, but asked me if I would look at it and what I thought. And I said, do you really want to do this? Like, for real?
Oh, God.
And the person said yes. And I watched it, and I said, it's good, but it's not as good as you are.
Ooh, okay.
And I don't, we Mark and I have discussed this endlessly. This, the undercooked
Oh, yeah.
chicken,
There's also an overcooked chicken though too.
Huh?
I think there's also been you can also overcook a chicken too.
Yeah, you could.
But undercooked is definitely worse.
Yeah.
But there's a point of the tour where I'm just like, I'm sick of these jokes. I don't
Really?
I think I'm at the point where I'm happy I'm going to tape soon because
Right.
I just think I need to move on. You just got to rip the Band-Aid.
It's
at some
so
point.
impressive that your whole generation that's just the protocol. That's what you're going to do to survive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but you mentioned it to me. You're a cripple for a year and a half after it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
But-
sucks.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's making the whole thing work.
Yeah, and it is good. Look, you're in a little postpartum funk afterwards where you're just like, what the hell? What is this that I'm doing on stage?
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
you need at least 10 to
At least.
to throw at the wall. So you're like, okay, when I'm at the cellar, I'm not just wasting these people's time. I need
Yes.
something to fall back on.
Right.
But you're driven by just jokes, which is, I think it's not everyone. There's a reason so many people, I think, stop doing this. Is because they didn't you clearly love jokes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
You're driven by the next joke.
Yeah,
And I think a lot of people who are maybe great at this and just walked away. I mean, Steve Martin was great at this, Eddie Murphy, but like maybe they didn't have the same love for jokes,
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just the work. What do you think it is?
I think it's an interesting theory, and there are those guys. There's three of them sitting here that just jokes are. They're like magic tricks that you don't really know how the trick works yourself,
Yeah.
but you like to watch it work.
yes.
And you can't believe it works.
We're surprised mid-set sometimes that something got a laugh. There's no magician who's like, oh shit, that's a trick?
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like
Yeah.
we fall into bits sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But also frustrating because you're like, why didn't I think of that? But I'll take it.
Or how about when they tell you it's funny and you don't know what's funny about it? I mean,
Yeah.
I have jokes I don't get.
Me too. Me too. I don't get half your stuff. But yeah. No, I totally get it. But also, it didn't exist, and then it exists.
Yeah.
That's so cool. You have a magic trick, you have to get a bunny and a hat. This is just thin air. It just works.
Yeah.
That's
I have
even
a-
cooler.
I have a thing about I don't have arguments with my wife. I don't think things that conflict with what she thinks. And I get a laugh on conflict. And I don't know, it just, like, I wasn't intending to.
Right.
And they just laughed. And now I really jump on it, you know. I still don't know what we're laughing at.
Right. But you pause and let them laugh.
I let them do it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know if I can say this, but like I saw Louis doing a bit the other night, and it didn't work. And then he did a bit, and instead of saying it, you know, with emphasis, he did it under his breath, and it killed.
Interesting.
And it's amazing when you're just like, oh, if I try less on some jokes, that hits. If I try more on some jokes, that hits.
Yeah.
You just don't know how to deliver your own writing sometimes.
Of course not.
It's crazy.
Well,
I
that
know.
gets back to the cooking time
Yes.
conversation,
Yeah.
which is there are things you can, like this coffee bit. It's a great bit. It's really long. It's got a lot of good stuff in it. Everything's great. But the opening is just okay. Well, I'm not going to live with that.
No.
I got a good bit here. It's got to have a strong opening line.
Yes.
Now, finding that, it could take me months.
Right.
But I like wasting my time. I do not like being efficient at all. I do not want to be an efficient producer of comedy. I do not. I want to be inefficient.
You don't want to be a factory pumping it out?
No. I want it to look like he must have spent so much time on that.
Ah.
You know,
Right.
to get all of that out of it. You know,
But think about how much more you'd have if you were efficient. How much more material?
yeah, but that's volume. You're talking about volume. I'm talking about detail, quality, flow, rhythm, things that are just not important, honestly.
Right.
I mean, I like trying to find a segue between two things I want to do
Yeah.
that's just perfectly smooth. There's no laugh.
Yeah.
But it gets me there in 5 words.
Yeah.
I love this in comedy, and I do feel like there was a part of our generation where it became uncool to care on this level.
I know.
And when you put this much thought into that, they were like, Jesus, like what is he doing?
Oh, you're not cool.
Yeah, you almost have to like fake that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in those Brooklyn shows.
Oh, yeah.
You
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
have to fake it a little.
But the audience, when they see that magic, that flow, the rhythm, and it's tight as a drum,
Oh, I remember
it hits them harder.
I remember
for
seeing
sure.
Gary Goldman, like the work he'd put into some of these callbacks, and I'd be like,
Oh, my
holy
God.
shit, that's awesome. I remember loving. So
Same.
To me, it was just
I think that's a defense mechanism with that Brooklyn shit. That, like, ironically bad, you know, dopey. I think that's cowardice.
yeah.
Well, it's trying to claim it as our own new way of doing things.
Right.
Better than
It's
your
counterculture.
old man way. What?
Yeah, it's counterculture. It's
Sure.
just-
Yeah, right.